Hi, and welcome back to my channel, where I'm working on documenting the build of my first fursuit, Blood Moon, an Eastern Sergal. On the last episode, we installed the eyes and sculpted them onto the head base. On this episode, we're going to complete the furring process and see how Blood Moon turns out. Also, on this episode, I'm going to forego showing the patterning and sewing process, as it's the same as what we did with the ears, just on a different level. Really what that means is that I failed big time by not filming any of it. Let's just say there's a lot of sewing and hand stitching of the materials going on. I feel like I lucked out because the skin fit on the face perfectly the first time. There was a tight squeeze from the nose, wrapping around the nostrils, and then up to the eyebrow and around the eye. And amazingly, they all worked out exceptionally well. After doing the test fit, I began by spreading the thin layer of hot glue from the nose and slowly working my way back through the face, alternating sides to ensure good coverage of critical details like the nose, mouth, and eyes. You can't tell me that Blood Moon doesn't look a little bit embarrassed at this point. As I continue to glue pieces onto the face, you'll see me stretch the skin back just to ensure that the fitment continues to hold true to shape. I left plenty of fur around the mouth so that I could trim it off later. And at this point, I'm beginning to see what Blood Moon's gonna look like. Does Blood Moon stick true to the species? Probably not. I built him with a lot of artistic freedom, but in the end, I made him just the way I wanted it. Despite that, I still think this is one of the best Sergals that I've seen. In the background, you can see one of the head bases my daughter is working on. It's a dragon for one of her friends. I decided to do a little bit of trim work real quick just to make sure that the fur is laying the way I want. At this point I haven't glued down the ear sleeves either, so I roll them back just to prevent getting any glue on this fur. The fur overlaps the head base just a little bit here. That gives me a spot to sew to once I put the back of the head on. I almost shaved those ears, but man am I glad I left them fluffy. My daughter gets home and she's pretty impressed with the progress I've made. No one can leave these eyebrows alone. Look at them, they're fantastic. And I did it again. I forgot to record sewing the back of the head onto the face. I'm sure I'll do a better job of recording all my steps next time. For my next head base, I think I might go with a wolf. By this point, I'm getting pretty excited. He's starting to get nice and smooth, shaved up, cleaned up. Man, he's looking good. I forgot to push down the little tuft of hair on top, but that's okay. Look at him. Looks good. I even get the jaw to articulate a little bit. Well, this completes today's episode. Let's see how I did in keeping with the spirit of the reference sheet that my daughter colored up. I think in general, I kept with the spirit, but obviously not to a T. That said, I think it turned out amazing for my first try. On the next episode, I'm going to attempt to make a pair of feet for Blood Moon. Thank you again for watching, and please consider subscribing to see how this project and the subsequent ones come together.